Hello everyone, my name is Thaisia. I'm an OT, and this channel is primarily in Portuguese. Most of the videos you're gonna see are in Portuguese because it's made to teach little Brazilians who don't live in Brazil to learn how to read in Portuguese. But I also like to always bring the perspective of OT so those children can be very successful in the school setting. Um, I wanted to make this video for my fellow OT students and practitioners and also teachers who want to practice number formation. I use this number designs from Teachers Pay Teachers website. You can get a lot of resources from there, and at the same time, you can support your teachers. They work really hard and they have some awesome stuff in there. Teachers use it, therapists use it. So just putting it out there. So let's get started. Here, I just want to go over some of the developmental milestones, going over a little bit the pre writing skills. Everything starts with that little mass, the scribbles, when the child is about 1 to 2 years old. They just get the little marker and then just start scribbling. And then they are able to imitate the vertical line and then the horizontal line. Just keep in mind that in the beginning it's just an imitation, and then towards the end of that year they'll be able to copy it much better. Then they move on to the circle, and same thing here. In the beginning they don't copy the circle, they just kind of imitate, so it's not gonna have a full circle closed, but then towards the end of that year they should be able to close it much better. Then when you have a vertical line and a horizontal line, you can make a cross. So when they're 3 to 4 years old, they can make a cross, and they move on to the diagonal lines. So first is they slant to the right, then they're able to use those lines that they learned when they're two, and now they're already they have mastered it. They can make a square, and also the little slant to the left with the other diagonal line. So when you have two diagonal lines, you can make an X. So that's usually just the diagonal lines. It's usually when they're four, and the X is when they're close to five, at the very end of their fourth year. And then when they're five, they can do a triangle. You can see it's a horizontal line and the diagonal lines meeting. So at five, they're able to master that. So this one is pretty straightforward. It's just a vertical line. So that's a number one vertical line, and that's a very easy number to teach. And also, you can transfer that skill to the letters when it's time to practice the letters. So number one vertical line, and we typically say going from everything starts from the top. So you go up and down, line down, and usually they learn that pretty well. So this is another option for number one. You can see number one written in different ways. So it's just a little diagonal line, um, right slant, and a line down. So you can use that. So when we just learn that diagonal line to the right, they will be around what? Four, and line down, it's the first one they learn. You're also going to see this option for number one, and it's basically what we just learned, adding a horizontal line at the bottom. So the little diagonal going right, line down, and over to the right side. So you can go up, line down, and over. So this is number four, and this is pretty easy. Line down with the vertical line, horizontal line to the right, and vertical line. So line down, over, line down. This is another variation for number 4, line down, over to the right, line down. So vertical line, horizontal line, vertical line, line down, over to the right, line down. This is one more variation for a number 4. You're going to see all of them during reading. So that one is a diagonal line, a horizontal line to the right, and a vertical line. So diagonal line, horizontal to the right, line down. I'm pretty sure you got it by now. So now it's the time for the circle when they're about what, 3 years old. And the line down, that's the first one that they master. So little circle and the line down. Little circle and line down, which is what? It's a vertical line. So for number 6, it is like the child is making a big circle or an oval shape, but instead of closing the circle, the child's going to make a little smaller circle to close. So just pretend a 6 is going to be a half of a circle and then close it. Just a little quiz. When again does the child learn to make the circle? Yes, around 3 years old. So number 10, it's a 1 and a 0. And 1 would be the first one that they learn because it's a vertical line. And the 0 would be a big circle. Of course, it looks more like an oval shape, but the principle would be the same. So again, number 1 would be when they're about 2 years old. And then the 0 they master when they're about 3 years old. So this is a number 5, and number 5 would be a horizontal line, a vertical line, and a little bump, which would be also a little circle, but a circle to the right. So it would be horizontal line, line down, and a little bump. That's how I would tell them. Line to the left, line down, little bump. And it's also very important for the child to kind of just follow with the finger or use different textures to learn the number formation. This is just for us to have an idea of what would be the best way to teach them. So this is another version of the number 5. Some people say, oh, the other way is not the way that I learned. So this is just a variation of number 5 that starts with the line down, the little bump, and then the horizontal line to the right. It really does not matter which number 5 you want to use. The most important thing is that the child already knows the lines and how to make the little bump. So this is a 0, and to write the 0 would be just making a big full circle. Yes, of course, that does not look like a circle. It's more like an oval shape, but the principle is the same, just that round thing, and it closes at the very end, which is very important. It cannot just be a circle that does not close. A circle needs to be a full circle. So remember, around when they're around 3 is when they're um, getting that whole concept of the circle. And this is a number 2. I honestly don't know exactly how I can explain a number 2 saying a circle to the right. But the way I say it's like a half of a heart shape and then the horizontal line to the right. But I am pretty sure by the time they know how to make a circle, they should be pretty good at making that half of a shape of a heart. It's not going to be perfect, but it will look pretty good eventually. So, number 2, half of a heart and the horizontal line to the right. So this is a number 3, and I believe the best way I could teach would be, little bump and bump. But basically, that is a semicircle and just a little half of a circle. And they should be pretty good at doing that around, at least three. So just a little bump, bump, but the principle of drawing a little circle, but to the right side. So this is number 8, and I believe the best way to explain is like a little snake or an S shape, and then you go all the way until you go to the very beginning where you started. So little S or a snake, and then you go and close all the way going back to the beginning. So I'm about to show the other variation of number 8. So here you go. Number 8, in a different way. You have a little circle at the top and another circle at the bottom. So circle, circle. And by now, you should be pretty good at knowing that. Again, what age do they know to make the little circle? Yes, at 3, they should be able to know the circle. So number 8, 2 little circles. And here we have number 7. The reason why I put number 7 to be the last one is because the diagonal lines are the ones that are a little bit more advanced. So here would be a horizontal line to the right and a diagonal line. And the little right slant would be the first one that they get. So around 4 years old is when they know the diagonal lines. And then at some point, towards the very end, when they're about to turn 5, they can make an X because they have learned both of the diagonal lines. And at 5, they will make a triangle because now they know the horizontal line and the 2 diagonal lines. Well, I hope you found this somewhat useful. And like I said before, this channel is mostly in Portuguese, but anytime that I find something useful uh, that's worth sharing, I'm going to try to make the video in English. So if you wanted to subscribe just so you don't miss anything, we'll see you next time. Bye.